Hi BookTube, it's Lindsay from Lindsay Reads. It's Friday. I'm going to be doing a Friday Reads. I'm sorry if you might be able to hear chomping in the background. My dog is, I gave him a bone because it's Friday, so he deserves a treat too. So if you hear some chewing sounds, it's the dog. One day I'm going to have to get him on camera. I'm going to have to like sit on the floor and film a video just to get him in. Because he's a big dog. He's a Dutch Shepherd, so it's kind of like a German Shepherd. So he doesn't exactly fit on this chair. My cat does, though. And if you hear purring, it's the cat. So, let's get into the books. Friday Reads is like one of my favorite videos to film because it's so exciting. Like, continuing some books and then, picking up the books to enjoy in the weekend. It's really nice. And so, I'm going to talk about the two books I've been reading throughout this month. And the first one is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. And I finished last week's reading, which I think brought me up to chapter 45, I believe. And it was a really good part of the book. It's like my favorite section. I don't want to give anything away just in case there's any people out there who haven't read Pride and Prejudice. But it got really to like the climactic scenes. It was a really good dialogue and just like, you want to read more, and so, yeah, that's where I'm at. So I'm excited to be picking up this weekend. I've been, like, saving Pride and Prejudice, because it's a short book, and you could read it in, like, a week or a couple days, but since Steve Vine is doing this read-along, it's spread out for the month, and so I've been savoring each reading just to save it on the weekends, like a Saturday or Sunday, and so it's a really nice treat for me. And then the next book that I've been working my way through, slowly but surely, is The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. And this one, I haven't made much progress on it, but I really need to get on it because I'm like 25% in. And I know I can get through it. It's just I got a whole bunch of other books to read. And it's kind of like one of those things where I've had a whole month. And so I don't really need to focus on it because I've been focusing on the Mammoth and all the other books. And it's kind of been on the back burner. But I really need to dedicate some good chunk of time to make some headway because the month is wrapping up, kind of, sort of. I cannot believe the end of the month is next Sunday, which is just crazy because I know February is a short month, but this month has 31 days and it still feels pretty short. So yeah, I need to get on this one. And this next one is my last Mammoth. I just started last night. It has this really pretty cover. It looks like a movie cover. Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. And this is one of the books where I've been meaning to read it forever. And so thanks to the Mammoth host, it really pushed me to like look at the books I've been meaning to read that are big chunky books, and this was one of them. So I was like, I can't not read this one for the Mammoth Challenge. And this edition is 964 pages, so it's a big hefty book, and hopefully I gave myself enough time to get into it. I just started last night, so I don't know, like maybe 30 or 40 pages in. I'm really liking it so far. I'm hoping for some really rich characters, and I think this book is going to deliver on that. I love like Russian classics, and I really need to read more of them because I haven't read that many, but all the ones I have read I've enjoyed. So hopefully next week I'll be able to talk a lot more about it because I'll have made put some good effort into reading it. And these next two are two books I will be picking up this weekend and hopefully reading and finishing. This one is Georgie hires the Grand Sophie, and this one I picked up Cotillion on February for it was my first Georgie hire because it's like a romance book, a Regency romance, and she's like known for like Regency romances, and so I thought it was a really good place to start with getting into that genre. And it was hilarious. It was not what I was expecting. It was a really delightful surprise. And so I've been wanting to read a second book by her. And so this one, I saw a review, and they said, let me see. If you ever wanted to see a Regency era heroine really take charge of her life, you're gonna love this book. And so I trust Georgie Hire to do no wrong. And so this one, she's a lot of books to read, so I'm delighted because I really like Karenina. And so, and I always love finding new authors because, especially authors with a lot of books out, so you can just like really savor, like enjoy all their books. It's so fun to already have like a too big read list by an author. And so I'll just read a little bit about what this book is about. It says, when the redoubtable Sir Horace Lacey is ordered to South America on business, he leaves his only daughter, Sophia, with his sister, Elizabeth, in Berkeley Square. Newly arrived from her tour of the continent, Sophie invites herself into the circle of her relatives. When Lady Umbersley, I'm horrible with names, Umbersley agrees to take in her young niece, no one expects Sophie, who sweeps in and immediately takes the ton by storm. Beautiful, gay, impulsive, shockingly direct, Sophie swept into elegant London society and scattered conventions and traditions before her like wisps in a windstorm. Resourceful, adventurous, and utterly indefatigable, Sophie is hardly the mild-mannered girl that the Rivenhalls expect when they agree to take her in. Kind-hearted Aunt Lizzie is shocked, and her arrogant, stern cousin, Charles Rivenhall, the Umbersley heir, vows to rid his family of her meddlesome ways by marrying her off. And so, I can tell this is going to be a good one. And so, of course, I will be reporting back with what I find with this one. And this last book is another book I'm planning to pick up and read. It's short. It's like 250 pages. And so I figure I can get this one done, hopefully. This is Wise Blood by Flannery O'Connor. I've read quite a bit of her short stories. And I've read a couple of different collections. And this one, it says it's her first novel. And so I'm curious to see what she comes up with, because I really enjoyed Flannery O'Connor's short stories. If you haven't read any and you want to get into short stories, I don't think you could go wrong with picking up O'Connor. She's famous for, the name escapes me. The Lottery. Is that what it is? Oh, I can't remember. I'm sorry. Anyway, it was one short story that's constantly taught in schools that it was really good. Anyways, for Wise Blood, the synopsis says, it is a story of Hazel Motes, a 22-year-old caught in an unending struggle against his innate desperate faith. He falls under the spell of a blind street preacher named Asa Hawks and his degenerate 15-year-old daughter, Lily. In an ironic, malicious gesture of his own non-faith to prove himself a greater cynic than Hawks, Hazel Motes founds the Church of God without Christ, but is still thwarted in his efforts to lose God. He meets Enoch Emery, a young man with wise blood, and wise blood's in quotation marks, who leads him to a mummified holy child, and whose crazy maneuvers are a manifestation of Hazel's existential struggles. This tale of redemption, retribution, false prophets, blindness, blindings, and wisdoms gives us one of the most riveting characters in 21st century American fiction. And so, she, if you've read any of her short stories, if you're familiar with her all, she really, kind of like intermingles, faith and religion, in her short stories. And so you can tell from this, story how it's, you can see, kind of get a taste for kind of how she, includes her themes. And so I just want to look at real quick the name of that short story I was thinking of, and it says It's a Good Man Is Hard to Find. So that is the story I was thinking of. The Lottery, I think, is Shirley Jackson's famous short story. But A Good Man Is Hard to Find it was a really good short story if you want to pick it up and get a taste for her writing. So anyway, these are the books I'm planning to read this weekend. Let me know what you're planning to read, if you've read any of these. I hope all you mammoth readers are not overwhelmed by the end of the month like I am a bit, because I mean I did plan on reading 4 mammoths, and this is my 4th mammoth, so I'm still on track. I can do it. Yes, yes I can. Other than reading, I don't really have any plans. I had a long week trying to get over this cold, and it's almost gone. I think, at least in my head, it sounds funny, my voice, but it's really just my nose that's a little bit stuffy, and so I'm on my way out of this cold. And so I just thought I would just enjoy a nice relaxing weekend here at home with the dog and the cat and the books. So yeah, thanks. See you soon, book 2.